Is the UK government about to reverse its winter fuel payments for pensioners? In today's video, we're looking into this possibility. The impact of this potential U-turn was recently addressed in a GB News discussion. And of course, we're not going to miss this opportunity to zero in on what principles need to be brought to the table in any government decision making on this matter. If you're passionate about political issues, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel to join the conversation. Let's get more voices in on this.
Now, this is potentially another flip-flop. I mean, it's not clear whether it's actually going to happen or not. We talked about it a few days ago when it was also mooted that this might be happening. It makes sense, or does it make sense, to go back on that policy?
Well, you're quite right. I'm no good at handbrake turns, but we are just about to go and see one quite soon. And it is inevitable. I mean, that lovely old line used to be from John Maynard Keynes, which was, if the facts change, I change. What are you going to do? Now, she's got an opportunity here, the rusty chancellor, not so much Anne, I don't think, to actually sit there and say, look, things have changed radically. I've got a good excuse now to go back on these policies, particularly this one which hitting elderly people with an allowance change like that is frankly pathetic. So there's so much more they can actually do. And remember, there is one word that runs an economy successfully, and most of Europe's useless at it, but we're not showing much better: confidence. She has the ability to actually create confidence because we've got growth areas in this country, those tech companies to start with, we know for a while. They can invest, not government investment, that's the last thing you want to see because they're not actually investing in things themselves, but give the tax breaks in terms of like enterprise investment schemes to actually give people confidence and say, oh, well, I can invest in this company because I've got backup coming here as a guarantee in case it goes wrong and I get some of my money back. That creates confidence really quite quickly. We are a nation of entrepreneurs. We set up more businesses than France and Germany put together, but we're very bad at growing them. Get the confidence back. Oh, and by the way, on Monday, get rid of these things as well because they're making it in terms of people's pensions and their allowances. You've really made people thoroughly fed up with it. No way to try and actually get any populism in your government.
Well, a couple of things. I mean, as Benedict pointed out just now, I mean, we are incredibly, surprisingly, staggeringly doing slightly better than most of the EU at the moment. So why do we want to get back in bed with them? That was one point. And a lot of other people are pointing out, and do keep those messages coming in, it's like, this isn't because Labour are suddenly remembering what Labour are meant to do and care for the most vulnerable in society. It's because they got a bit of a spanking at the elections and they're thinking, oh, God, we want to win next time, so let's just go back on this.
No, and put that together with this figure of a 0.7 growth. Well, remember, these figures are very, very unreliable, but she's lucky that somehow we've got through some figures coming up, most of which is relating to previous decisions, not this one.
Yeah.
So beware of people talking about green shoots, because quite often it turns out to be advanced mould. And so look at actually where the growth is and encourage that. So this government has very little business experience, doesn't seem to have any finance experience, and of course the Treasury doesn't have the expertise it had 30 years ago where you were there for life. Now you're there for 3 years and you move on. Bright people, but actually really understanding how government can raise capital, raise investment without their borrowing limits and be able to get it into a much more positive element.
Justin, very, very quickly, do you think they should go back on this policy?
Yes. It's hurting people directly. The actual cost to the government is, in terms of finance, actually small. The big cost of the government is sheer embarrassment.
Yeah.
So if I were her, I'd be doing it. Or is it maybe we're just being softened up for maybe a change of chancellorship?
As a government leader, your decision must always ensure that the most vulnerable are protected with reliable support systems. At the same time, your policies should fuel business growth by encouraging investment. More growth means more revenue in the coffers to fund essential services and keep the country thriving. As a national leader, every decision counts and has far-reaching implications. Take the time to weigh the possible outcomes and consequences, even if it's tough, to ensure your choices drive the right results. Making a wrong decision doesn't make you weak. Weaknesses come when you push further and faster down the wrong path. True strength is taking responsibility, being humble and courageous enough to acknowledge where you made mistakes, and choosing the direction that truly benefits the nation. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.